It is 2 a.m. You are not sad, nothing is wrong. You have no reason to be awake. And yet your brain is going, replaying a conversation from 3 years ago, rehearsing an argument that will never happen, building catastrophes out of nothing. Your body gave up hours ago, but your mind has somewhere to be, and it did not tell you where. This is not insomnia. This is something more specific, more personal. This happens to people who feel deeply, think too much, and carry more than they ever say out loud. And what is actually happening inside your brain at 2 a.m. is not random. It is not a glitch. It is a signal. And once you understand what it actually is, you will never see your sleepless nights the same way again. During the day, your brain is constantly interrupted. Work, screens, conversations, movement, noise. There is always something pulling your attention outward. And that constant pull does something very specific. It suppresses a neural network that neuroscientists call the default mode network. This network activates when you are not focused on anything external, when there is no task, no distraction, no demand. And when it activates, it thinks about you, your past, your future, your relationships, your unfinished emotional business, everything you did not have time to process during the day. During daylight hours, you never have to sit with any of it. The day gives you somewhere to hide. But at night, in the dark, in the silence, the default mode network finally gets its turn, and everything you have been avoiding all day arrives at once. Research confirms that the content of nighttime rumination is almost never random. It is emotionally significant. Unresolved conflicts, suppressed fears, unexpressed feelings, decisions that were never fully made. Your brain is not torturing you at 2 a.m. It is doing maintenance, processing which you never gave it time to process. The problem is not what it is doing. The problem is when. One thought becomes 10. 10 becomes 100. Here is exactly why. Your brain at night is operating under a specific neurochemical condition. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, follows a daily rhythm. It peaks in the morning to wake you up. It declines through the day. But for people carrying chronic low-level stress, and that is most people, this rhythm breaks down. Cortisol stays elevated at night, and elevated cortisol does one very precise thing to your thinking. It turns up your threat detection. Every thought your default mode network generates gets filtered through a threat assessment system running at maximum sensitivity. A neutral memory becomes a source of shame. A future possibility becomes a disaster. A small moment from earlier in the day becomes evidence that something is deeply wrong with you. You are not thinking clearly at 2 a.m. You are thinking anxiously, and your brain is presenting that anxiety as clarity. That feeling of sudden insight, of finally seeing things as they really are, that is cortisol. That is not truth. That is your nervous system in quiet emergency, scanning your life for danger and finding it everywhere. Psychologist Zeigarnik discovered something uncomfortable about the human mind. It cannot tolerate incompleteness. It will return to unfinished things compulsively, involuntarily, almost obsessively. You already know this from small things: a song you cannot finish remembering, a conversation that ended badly, a decision you never fully made. Your brain keeps pulling you back until it resolves. Now, apply that to your entire life. The reason you cannot stop thinking at night is not just stress, it's that there are questions in your life you haven't answered. Not practical questions, deeper ones. Am I living the way I actually want to live? Do the people around me really know me? Am I becoming who I was supposed to become? Is what I'm doing with my time actually meaningful? During the day, you have places to hide from those questions. The day is full of movement and noise and distraction. But at night, there is nowhere to go. And your brain, which cannot tolerate incompleteness, will not let you rest until it has at least tried to find the answer. The cruelest part is that 2 a.m. is the worst possible time to answer anything. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational, long-term thinking part of your brain, is partially offline. You have the questions. You do not have the cognitive equipment to answer them. So you spiral, you loop, you reach conclusions that feel devastating at 2 a.m. and completely different by morning. And then you lie there hating yourself for being unable to sleep. Here is what the research found, and it is not what most people expect. The people who suffer most from nighttime overthinking are not the most anxious. They are not the most stressed. They are the most emotionally intelligent. The ones who feel the full weight of their experiences, who process deeply, who care about the people and things in their lives with an intensity most people never reach. A study published in Personality in Individuals found a direct correlation between high empathy, deep cognitive processing, and nighttime rumination. Your racing mind at 2 a.m. is not a weakness. It is the shadow side of the same brain that makes you perceptive and present and genuinely alive to your own experience. But that does not make it harmless. Chronic sleep disruption from nighttime rumination changes the hippocampus, the brain's center for emotional regulation. The less you sleep, the less effectively your brain processes emotional experience, which means the unresolved feelings that kept you up last night are still unresolved tonight, and now they have a slightly tighter grip. The loop feeds itself. The sleeplessness creates the exact conditions that make the thoughts harder to quiet. Here is the truth, the one nobody says. You cannot think your way out of 2 a.m. You cannot reason with a brain running on cortisol and exhaustion and unfinished feeling. Every attempt to analyze, to solve, to conclude feeds the loop. The thoughts are not the problem. The war against the thoughts is the problem. The desperate attempt to make it stop, to find the answer tonight, to resolve in the dark what the daylight has not managed to touch, that is what keeps you awake. The 2 a.m. mind is not asking you to solve anything. It is asking you to finally acknowledge something. Something you already know. Something you've been too busy or too afraid to sit with properly. And the moment you stop fighting it, something shifts. Not always, not perfectly, but enough. Your sleepless nights are not evidence that something is broken in you. They are evidence that something in you is still paying attention, still unfinished, still alive enough to refuse to be ignored. The question is not how to make it stop. The question is, what is it trying to tell you? This is what psychology looks like when it's honest, not quick fixes, not 5 steps to better sleep, the actual architecture of what is happening underneath and what to do with that knowledge. New video every week on SoFix. If that's the conversation you want to keep having, subscribe. I'll see you next week.